You ever get that weird feeling, the one where it seems like just by watching something, you're somehow changing it? Well, it's a huge idea, and today we are jumping headfirst into the mind-bending question it leads to. It's this incredible mystery that sits right where hard science and your own gut feelings meet. All right, let's get into it.
So let's just put the question right out there, plain and simple. Is your consciousness, the simple fact that you're aware, literally building the physical world around you brick by brick? And look, this isn't just some late-night dorm room question. It's a really popular idea that actually comes from one of the strangest places in all of science, quantum mechanics.
The root of this whole thing goes back to one single experiment, an experiment so fundamental and so completely bizarre that the legendary physicist Richard Feynman himself called it the central mystery of quantum mechanics. It's known as the Double-Slit Experiment, and believe me, this is where reality starts to feel like it's coming apart at the seams.
Okay, so to really get how weird this is, we first got to look at how things are supposed to work in our normal, everyday world. It's pretty simple, right? If you fire a bunch of particles, think of them like tiny tennis balls, through two slits in a wall, what do you get? You get two bands on the wall behind them. Duh. And if you send waves, like ripples in water, through those same two slits, they interfere with each other and create this complex pattern of many bands. So it's one or the other. You're either a particle or a wave. That's how it should work.
And then you get to the quantum world. When scientists do this experiment with tiny particles like electrons, get this, even when they fire them one at a time so there's no way they can be bumping into each other, they don't get two simple bands. Over time, these single electrons build up that complex, wave-like interference pattern. It's like each electron somehow went through both slits at the same time and interfered with itself, which makes no sense.
And this is the part that just breaks everybody's brain. The obvious next question is, okay, that's impossible. Which slit is it really going through? So scientists did just that. They set up a tiny little detector to watch the slits and see which path each electron took. So what do you think happened when they looked?
The second you measure it, all the weirdness just stops. Poof! Gone. The interference pattern completely vanishes, and the electrons start acting like those normal little tennis balls again, just making two simple bands. The very act of observing which path it took forced it to pick a path. This, right here, is the famous observer effect.
And this is where that huge myth comes from. The idea that it's a conscious mind, a person looking at the experiment that makes reality snap into place. But here comes the big plot twist. We really need to talk about what scientists actually mean when they use the word observation. It's not what you think. And here is the absolute key to the whole puzzle. In physics, an observation doesn't mean a person with a brain is looking at something. Not at all. It means any physical interaction. It means something has to, bump into the electron to get information from it. Like you might bounce a little particle of light off it to see where it is. That bump, that physical interaction, that is the observation.
And this just nails the point home. You could have this entire experiment run by a completely automated robot in a locked room on the dark side of the moon with no one around for miles. As long as that machine interacts with the electron to find out which slit it went through, the wave pattern will vanish. A conscious mind is just not part of the equation. In fact, if you talk to physicists today, a lot of them will tell you that the pioneers of quantum theory, well, they made a really poor choice of words. Calling it the observer effect was just super confusing, because it immediately makes us all think of a person with a mind, when really, it's just about a physical disturbance.
So, let's just call it the popular idea that your consciousness is out there collapsing quantum waves and creating the universe around you. It's officially busted. It's a really cool idea, but it's just a misunderstanding of the physics. But hold on, don't go anywhere, because this is not the end of the story, not even close. The mind has a different kind of power, one that is just as amazing, and this one is 100% scientifically proven.
So, if our minds aren't shaping quantum reality, where does their real power lie? Well, let's talk about the placebo effect. This is the arena where mind over matter isn't some new agey myth. It's a documented biological fact. It's the absolutely stunning power of your belief to create real, tangible, physical change inside your own body.
So how in the world can a simple sugar pill, something with no medicine in it, actually make a headache go away? Well, it's not magic, it's neurochemistry. It all starts with your expectation. You truly believe you're getting a real painkiller.
That belief alone is a powerful enough trigger for your brain to start pumping out its own all-natural painkillers. We call them endorphins. And those endorphins go to work blocking the pain signals and giving you real relief.
And this is the really important difference. Your mind isn't changing the external world. It's not magically turning a sugar pill into aspirin. No, it's changing the internal world. It's changing the chemistry inside your own brain. The power isn't being projected outward. It's being directed inward with totally incredible results. So if we're not changing the world out there, what are we changing? Well, it turns out we're changing the most complex and powerful filter in the entire known universe, our own brain. Through amazing processes like neuroplasticity and all these little mental shortcuts, our mind is actively building the reality we experience every single second.
The first piece of this is something called neuroplasticity. Basically, your brain isn't a fixed object. It's more like a dynamic network of roads that is constantly being rerouted based on what you do, what you think, and what you pay attention to. You've probably heard the saying, neurons that fire together, wire together. It's absolutely true. The things you focus on literally strengthen those connections in your brain, which shapes the lens through which you see the entire world.
And on top of all that, your brain uses these unconscious filters all the time. Think of them like mental shortcuts. For example, confirmation bias makes you automatically notice all the evidence for things you already believe. Or there's the Pygmalion effect, which shows that just having high expectations for someone can actually help them perform better. Your brain isn't just passively watching a movie of reality. It's the director, the editor, and the special effects artist all at once.
Okay, so we've busted the big quantum myth, and we've explored the real, scientifically backed power of the mind. So let's bring it all together. It's time to deliver the final verdict on what it really means to be a co-creator of our world.
All right, here it is, laid out side by side. The myth that your conscious mind is creating physical reality by interacting with quantum particles, that one is busted. It's a classic misunderstanding. But the truth? The idea that your beliefs, your focus, and your expectations can profoundly change your own brain, your own body, and your entire experience of life, that is 100% confirmed by modern neuroscience.
And when you think about it, this is actually a much more powerful and useful idea, isn't it? Your real power isn't some spooky, mystical force that acts on the outside world. It's internal. It's the scientifically proven ability you have to actively reshape and rewire the most complex object we know of in the entire universe, your own brain.
So how do you actually use this power? Well, it's about becoming an intentional observer of your own mind. You can literally use neuroplasticity to train your brain to notice more good things, to build gratitude. You can use critical thinking to push back against your own biases. And you can use empathy by realizing that your expectations of other people actually help shape their reality too.
So in the end, no, you don't create the universe with your thoughts, but you are, without a shadow of a doubt, the lead architect of the world that you experience. So the real question isn't some grand cosmic one, it's something far more personal and far more powerful. What kind of world are you going to create for yourself?